Newcastle United, fantastic last season, finishing fourth. Really good season. Expectations, Gab, what do you think for this season for Newcastle?
If they can get back into the top four, get out their group and get to another final, I think that would be a good season for Newcastle. But I do think Liverpool will close that gap.
What Chelsea, no?
I still think Chelsea need a bit of time, mate.
Yeah.
I feel like you look at the midfield, you need a proper partner with Enzo Fernandez, Casado, they don't look like they want to pay the 100 mil. I still think they're work in progress, Chelsea. What about you? Think they can...
I'm looking at Newcastle and I'm thinking, right, okay, they've got the Champions League. It's whether they can handle the extra games, the Champions League football, domestic cups, the league. Have they got the squad big enough to do that? Listen, they've got some good players. When you look at the centre forward situation, they've got Isak and Wilson.
Yes,
that's good. That's
top.
Decent. I think the middle of the park, I think they look quite strong. Liverpool, I think, will have a lot to say. And I think Aston Villa. I think people are sleeping on Villa. And that makes you happy,
mate. No, but honestly, I've been watching a few of the games pre-season. I'm like, organised goals, creativity, yes. And Diaby, what a signing, by the way.
Yeah.
He looks like he's going to be more consistent than Leon Bailey. A lot more consistent, direct, quick, can score goals. Scored a great goal against I think it was Brentford. And at the back now, competition for places. You know what that's like at a football club. Conte and Mings might be first choice at the moment.
Yeah.
You got Torres, you got Diego Carlos, who was brought
Diego
in.
Carlos,
He was injured right at the start.
Achilles, didn't he?
Exactly. So they've got options, mate, all around midfield. Tielemans, McGinn, Ramsey, Kamara, Douglas Luiz.
Do
you want any more? Any more?
Wow.
Buendia, Coutinho still there.
Who's on the coaching staff?
Oh, I'll be here all day. But Aston Villa are going to shock a lot of teams, mate. And that's the problem they're going to have this season. That Brighton will be on it as well.
Yeah.
They don't just be happy being in Europa League. They want to go again. So it's going to be an interesting season, and no one's guaranteed apart from, you'd say, Man City and Manchester United and Arsenal. That fourth place could be up for grabs.
Up for grabs. Well, yesterday I caught up exclusively with a Newcastle defender ahead of the upcoming Premier League season, and he said finishing in Europe again would be a successful season.
I think for us to replicate what we did last year, genuinely it'll be harder. I think if you look at teams which maybe didn't perform as well as they did, as they wanted to last year, you look at Chelsea, you look at Tottenham, Villa have been very good, Brighton have been very good, so I think the competition's only getting stronger. So for me personally, got nothing to do with the club at all. If we finish in European places, I think that is a good season. We've always said we want to attack every cup. It would be great if we could get to another cup final and try and end this sort of trophy drought that we've had for recent history.
I thought we spoke really well, really honestly there, Dan Burn, about their expectations for next season, because of course they're in the Champions League now. Pressure now starts to build, because it wasn't a free hit, because that's probably a little bit unfair to say, but last season I don't think too many people would have said at the start of the year Newcastle would be anywhere near Champions League football. They thought top 8, maybe European places, and then they go again. The fact that they've almost jumped 3 or 4 steps in one season brings that added pressure.
A lot of pressure, but I look at the group of players and I feel like they're going to be able to handle it. I feel like you speak to players and you hear players talk about the atmosphere at St James's Park. A lot of these European teams go in there. You used to say back in the day about going away in Europe and playing and I couldn't handle the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You go to Galatasaray or Fenerbahce, that atmosphere.
Can't handle it.
I feel like Newcastle, St James's Park tops the Premier League for atmosphere, and players will crumble under that. And I think it wouldn't surprise me if they won every game, every home game in their group in the Champions League.
So do you think a Newcastle as a football club, if they were to finish, I don't know, say they finished 4th, I mean, somewhere off, they're not even so much 4th, but you just think it's about potentially winning, because that at some stage has got to be a priority, winning something for Newcastle. It's been a long time since they've won anything. These
owners will want Champions League every season now, but would they take next season into get out of the group, into knockout stages of the Champions League, win an FA Cup or Carabao Cup and finish 5th? I think they'd take that.
Well, out of the Champions League, but they win a cup. Yeah. I think Newcastle fans, and listen, we want Newcastle fans to get involved. 03717 22 33 44. But I think you're right. If they dropped out of the Champions League and finished 5th, but they won the FA Cup, that's massive.
Because they could have a season out of the Champions League and come back again, keep strengthening their team. I've seen a group of Newcastle fans in Qatar on the first day. Went to a bar with the talkSPORT crew, and they asked me. They said, "Gabby, what do you think Newcastle fans will want? Carabao Cup win or FA Cup win or qualify for the Champions League?" they said themselves, Bentley, they was like, we want to win something. We're tired of going this long without winning something. People laughing at us. Clubs want to win trophies. Spurs want to win trophies.
Yeah.
So I think Newcastle fans would sacrifice Champions League for a trophy.
Well, do you know what? Let's ask one. Phil's called 03717 22 33 44. He's a Newcastle fan. Phil, how you doing?
Good evening, Phil.
Hello, how are you doing?
You all right, mate?
Yeah, we're very good. To talk to me, what are the expectations, and would you take fifth and the FA Cup or a trophy of some sort?
I would definitely take a trophy. Definitely take a trophy over fifth. My expectation next season is probably 9th, 8th, 9th. Try and have a good cup run, win a cup.
What, you'd like to see Newcastle finish potentially 9th, but win a trophy of some sort?
I just don't think that we can compete in the Champions League and also keep a good position in the league.
What do you think,
You don't think you've got the option? You look at strikers. Isaac, Wilson, you got Barnes, Almiron. Do you think you need a couple more players brought in?
I think we need a couple more. I think we need to strengthen the defence, to be honest.
What part? Right back, left back?
We could do with the left back. I think we could do with another centre half. Because I think outside of Shaw and Botman, I think other than that, I think we lack centre halves, good quality centre halves.
Couldn't Dan Burn go as a centre half when you bring in another left back though?
He possibly could. Like, he's a proven centre half, so. But it's just one of them. Like, we definitely need more players. When you look at say, for instance, you look at City squad, you look at Liverpool squad, people like that, they've got that depth to play all these games, whereas I don't feel like we have that.
Well, listen, Phil, it's going to be interesting. I think the season for Newcastle is certainly going to be a roller coaster, because what they've done certainly last season, a lot of people didn't expect that. I think Eddie Howe, I like him as a coach. I think he's a top coach. I think he'll come under more pressure now, because
of course,
as the club progresses, as it keeps growing, more question marks are going to be asked of him.
And these owners, they don't want just get into the top four or get a cup run. They want to win trophies now. They want to go for the title probably in the next 3-4 years. Won't play Newcastle. So I think they'll be fine though. I really do. I feel like the players that they've got and the mentality that they showed last season, I don't think they're gonna fall off in 8th or 9th. I think 6th, maybe 5th, but not 8th or 9th. I can't see that.
No, I can't happen. But
that's a sackable offence, I feel, for Eddie Howe.
If they finish 9th?
Yes.
What about if they win a cup, though? FA Cup?
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. But no trophy and finishing 8th and getting knocked out in the group stages is gone.